Is there any way that The Rock can hold that?
You can hold this one as long as I can hold yours.
I want your soul. It didn't have to be like this. It's because of him. He stuck his nose in The Rock's business.
The Rock's rivalry with Cody Rhodes is one of the most insane rivalries I've ever seen in my entire life. They have like baby mama drama, just without the babies. It was just them. The amount of borderline sus moments and just flat out weird moments we got from this feud is nuts. And it's not as talked about as it should be. The Rock has a weird history with getting his ego crushed, and there is not an example any better of this happening than when The Rock met Cody Rhodes, the chosen one. The quarterback of our era. For years and years, for as long as I can remember, there has been plans of The Rock finally facing his cousin Roman Reigns at the main event of WrestleMania. The story writes itself. With Roman finally hitting his prime in his later years, the match was destined to happen. But it didn't. The match that felt guaranteed got interrupted by one man. The man that The Rock couldn't bully. This is where everything completely changes. Cody's story is much more complex and intriguing than we realized. Cody Rhodes is the biggest babyface we've had since Daniel Bryan. When he came back to the WWE, it was like he came back home, and we welcomed him back with arms wide open. This was our guy. When Cody lost to Roman at Mania 39, it felt so depressing, and it sucked the air out of the stadium. Usually when a wrestler loses a match of this magnitude, they fall off completely. But for Cody, this did the opposite. Cody only got bigger. We'd see this the next year, heading into WrestleMania 40. The Rock would finally come back, and he was heavily teasing his match against Roman, and he was willing to scrap any ongoing story to get to this outcome. The WWE would make Cody Rhodes give up his spot at WrestleMania, and he did. He ended up giving his spot to The Rock. Cody looked defeated, and he was on the verge of crying. Granted, he does that a lot, but it was different now. We saw a man that busted his ass night in and night out for 2 years get his spot taken from him in front of our very eyes. Thankfully though, the fans saw through the bullshit for what it was, and credit to the WWE as well, they pivoted immediately. Even though this was a super stupid way of going about things, it made the build so much better. To have a good babyface, you need a good heel, and this is what The Rock did perfectly. The Rock turned heel, and we got introduced to the final boss. This is honestly one of my favorite gimmicks ever, and one of the best builds to Mania I could ever remember seeing. At the WrestleMania press conference, The Rock and Roman would give us the full bloodline experience. They showed us the family tree, and they were going to go to war. However though, Cody chants were flooding the building. At first, it was torn a bit. We want Cody, no we don't. This is where the fans would get called the Cody Crybabies. This is where Cody interrupts. This is bullshit. In the opening of Cody's theme song, it goes, wrestling has more than one royal family. It's not only just a bloodline, it's the Rhodes dynasty as well. Roman fired the first shot saying Cody was irrelevant, just like his dad. Then Cody fired back talking about Jay and the High Chief, also saying the bloodline are lackeys and they're goons. The Rock took offense to this, as it's his family as well. The Rock slapped Cody, and we were in for a treat. We were getting set for a tag team match at WrestleMania as well as the Cody-Roman rematch. Everything was going to be on the line, and the Bloodline story was coming to an end. This was booking excellence, and it was WWE at its very best. On the March 8th episode of SmackDown, we get another confrontation between the pairing, and The Rock called Cody a mistake. Cody responded by slapping The Rock. This is what Cody should have done to Travis, but it just kept getting better and better. Literally the next week, we'd get a Rock concert. The Rock blasted Cody, Seth, Mama Rhodes, Cody Rhodes' mama, and even John Moran toting got mentioned. This segment was incredible. But now, this is where it starts to get a little weird. The Rock would come out to the hardest entrance you've probably ever seen. This is awesome chants, CM Punk chants, Rocky sucks chants, all this crazy stuff. He waited for like 2 minutes, whispered something to Cody, and dipped. I think he said, tonight, I'm gonna make you pay. The Rock was calling hits like Jay-Z. Later that night though, we'd find out exactly what he meant. The Rock caught Cody lacking backstage and gave him one of the biggest beatdowns the world has ever seen on live TV. This was crazy. I'm telling you, this was not a normal feud, bro. He took his ass out back in the rain and made him bleed. The visual we got from this was picture perfect. And that's the thing about The Rock. When it gets a little weird and uncomfortable, he could give us a complete 180 and give us peak TV. This monumental build led to WrestleMania 40. Honestly, one of the best experiences I've ever had in my entire life. This was a spectacle. And I know I'm not the only one that felt this way. I remember seeing videos about non-wrestling fans tweaking out about this Mania. But looking back, the thing that kind of irritates me is how The Rock deliberately pinned Cody on night one. You could say it was good for the story or whatever. It makes sense. Like, I'm fine with that. But to me, I think it's definitely something more deeper. It's like he had to humble Cody or something for being a star. It's like he needed that reassurance to feel like he's the guy. He's the boss. He had all the power. He was jealous even. I know at first listen it sounds crazy. Why would the final boss be jealous of Cody Rhodes? Well, it's because of the fans. We all saw Cody as the guy. We picked Cody over The Rock because Cody's rise was organic. Kind of like another organic rise. But this rise was 13 years prior. CM Punk's. CM Punk mentioned The Rock in his infamous pipe bomb promo. This isn't sour grapes, but the fact that Dwayne is in the main event of WrestleMania next year and I'm not makes me sick. Quite telling, isn't it? CM Punk was another man that got in The Rock's way. He also beat The Rock in every single promo battle that they had. You want to know what happened to Punk? He lost to The Rock, ending his 434-day WWE title run, losing it to a part-timer that took his spot at WrestleMania. This was Cody's fate, but The Rock couldn't pull it off this time, and I know it made him sick. Someone else got in The Rock's way though, and that was John Cena. John Cena called out The Rock in so many interviews over the years, and when they met in 2011, Cena absolutely demolished him in every single exchange. The Rock looked like he wanted to throw hands on the spot. It got super real. But guess what happens to John Cena? He loses to The Rock at WrestleMania 28, and he goes on to have his universally agreed worst year of his entire career. Like, don't think I'm just pulling this shit out my ass. The Rock literally has a contract for his movies that says he can't lose a single fight. I swear to God, this is real. This one is more on like the funny theory side of it, but this low-key happened to Zack Ryder. I saw a short of Matt talking to Chris Van Vliet, and he said he got chanted over The Rock at Survivor Series 2011, and a couple months later, he got crippled, his girl got taken, and he got thrown off the stage. The more you look into this, the crazier it gets. Cody wasn't going though. Cody would have his legacy match on night 2 and overcome all the odds and win the WWE Undisputed Championship. Unfortunately for Cody though, this saga with The Rock didn't end. This took a whole 180, and it turned completely weird and psychotic. The Rock interrupted Cody and he would give him a gift. I don't know if it was a watch, a condom, a Skittle, I don't know what it was, but this was getting scary. But worse than that, The Rock also wanted to swap titles. This is the only time in my entire life that I ever heard this is awkward chance. He had this fake ass title, and I think the only reason he got this title is just to swap it for Cody. But they put Cody in so many unwinnable and unskippable cutscenes, I'm surprised he hasn't fallen off by now. Cody says, "You could hold my title, Rocky. Only if I could hold yours." I'm sorry, I don't want to offend anybody. I've been patty caking around the lake this entire video, but this is just gay. I don't know what else to say. I'm sorry. The Rock ended the promo by saying, "Don't you ever break my heart again." This was a WWE horror story, bro. Crazy enough, this was actually the last time we'd see The Rock in WWE for a long time. Fast forward to Bad Blood 2024, Cody and Roman teamed up and beat Solo and Fatu, and they were cooking. Of course, one man did not like this. One man was jealous of this. The Rock. The Rock threw up the 3-finger throat slash and walked out. Deadass, less than 5 minutes later, one of Cody's best friends on the planet, Kevin Owens, pulls up in a Lambo and turns heel on him. And it was off camera. He just did it for the love of the game. What? Bro, Cody had a bounty on his head. There's no other way. The Rock Nation of Domination final boss was sending hits already. And then, a couple months later, it's like nothing even happened. I see why the guy with the gray hair and red glasses was crashing out about this. But after the Raw on Netflix, they had an IG live of them drinking and talking about their moms. It was so bad. So we went from sending shots to getting hits. Kevin Owens' white trash ass getting the car of his dreams to take out Cody. Dude, it was a crazy sight. But after this, it would get much, much worse. The whole story would change when The Rock said, "Cody, I want your soul." Just look at these comments. Rock, I want your soul. Cody's like, I want a restraining order. The whole time I was watching, like, Rock sounds like the devil right now. And then he ends with, I want your soul. And I was like, yep, there it is. Rock just repeating what they told him in Hollywood years ago. This has to be one of the most confusing segments I've ever seen in my 20 plus years of watching WWE. We could all see his plans. But I was thinking, why does The Rock want Cody to turn heel so badly? Our biggest babyface in WWE, our new Cena, our champion. And then it clicked. He's jealous. He's infatuated. He got his ego crushed like never before. The Rock lost. This is where another big part ties in though. Triple H. I guarantee Triple H did not want Cody to turn heel at all. So instead, we got an alternate ending. John Cena would finally win a match as he won the Elimination Chamber. And at the same time, we were all waiting for Cody's big decision. Cody came out at the end in all black, and it was scary symbolism, as all black usually means evil. While Cody confronted Cena, as this was going to be our big Mania match, The Rock, with Travis Scott, came out, and I can't even lie, they got me back in. I felt like I was a little kid again. It was time for the decision. The Rock was waiting in arousal, and Cody told him, I gave my soul to this ring and these people a long time ago. I thought we were going to get another sus segment of the century, but Cody dropped one of the craziest promo bombs ever as he told The Rock, Go fuck yourself. The Rock got cooked once again. But this time, it didn't go unpunished. Back to back, the most shocking heel turn of all time, John Cena made the most evil, soulless face, and he turned on me, he turned on you, he turned on Cody, he turned on the WWE Universe. At this point, if Cena could turn heel, I don't trust anybody anymore. But honestly, if anything, it made me respect Cody even more. Look, you can hate Cody all you want, but if you could make The Rock and John Cena both turn heel, you're a special talent. It's just the fact that not many could get cheered over both Cena and The Rock. But it was all in the symbolism. Before the show, they showed us an Elimination Chamber graphic showing Travis, The Rock, and Cena all on the cover. And nobody knew at the time that these three would shake the WWE's core. Everybody was so intrigued and so giddy to see where this huge trio would go. Cena and The Rock on the same team after all their beef, with a mainstream star in their corner like Rodman was to the NWO. Just not as cool. But where would it go? Well, it went nowhere. The Rock completely ditched Cena, basically ruining his last ever run, and also creating a rift between him and Triple H. Look, the way I know this is real is because during Triple H's 17-hour Hall of Fame speech, Triple H talked about so many people, and people in the crowd falling asleep. He even mentioned Vince McMahon of all people. However, though, not one mention at all about The Rock. Insanity. Throughout the Mania build, not one mention of The Rock either. And at WrestleMania 41, after all the soul talk following one of the best Mania endings ever, we got one of the worst. Travis showed up with no signs of The Rock, and the fans were pissed. Rightfully so, everybody was. So what does The Rock do? He goes on the Pat McAfee podcast after WrestleMania and says, you know what? I wanted to step back and let them have the spotlight. Okay, bro, yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what it was. Like, bro, you made the whole bill talking about Cody's soul. That's like if, like, Vince McMahon back in the day said, you know what, man, I'm just a producer. I run the show, and didn't feud with Steve Austin. That's exactly how it was. Bro, literally nobody wanted him heel, so you got Cena, which was just as good, and you still dipped. Nah, man, this is crazy to me. I'd even say that Cody turning heel would be awesome, and he'd do phenomenal work, but it's just unnecessary. They have been mentioning The Rock a lot on WWE recently, so I wouldn't be surprised if they try to reverse all this and have Cody finally turn heel and align with The Rock after Raw, and having Cena turn back face again, giving The Rock his way yet again. But I don't want to come off as like an extreme Rock hater or anything. Like, whenever he does come out, he just has so much appeal and swag. But it's just crazy to me how infatuated he is with Cody. It's genuinely creepy. But anyways, man, we made a TikTok and an Instagram. Follow it. I'm going to put it right here. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think The Rock is cooking? You smell what he's cooking? Yeah, but anyways, man, I'm out. And Cody, do not pick up your phone at 3 a.m. What would your dad think about this?
Bro, did you see?
See what?
Bro, you didn't see?
Bro, I'm recording. Get out.
Bro, this is important, bro.
What? Oh, shit. It's happening.